Hello, community. There's something new when you buy, use, and code AI systems, because it has new implications you should know about. So, let's say I buy an AI product from a global corporation and I pay for the enterprise edition. I say, great. So I assume that the AI product is without any financial risk for my work or for my company. So this means I have an official certificate of operation. I have trust that this product has been tested and approved by an authorized national entity, and I have any kind of guarantee. And to make it a little bit more interesting, let's say I'm a customer located here in the European Union and I'm buying from an American company. Great. Instead of this, I get in our Gedankenexperiment now an announcement. I get an announcement by the corporation. And in this announcement, the corporation states, hey, customers are concerned about the risk of intellectual property infringement claims if they use the output produced by our product should stand there. But since this has been co-authored by the chief legal or corporate legal head, here we have output produced by generative AI. So we are talking about a concrete specific AI product that has been sold by a global corporation, but suddenly we are here the output produced by the artificial intelligence. So interesting that now suddenly we have here the generic terms and not the product specific terms in this announcement. But let's go on. And I say, if you are challenged on copyright grounds, we will, as a global corporation, assume responsibility for the potential legal risks involved. And you might say, hey, wow, this is interesting. And they go on and say, hey, we will, as a global corporation, defend the customer who bought our product, and we will pay the amount of any adverse judgments or settlements, notice the word settlements, that result from the lawsuit. So the result from the lawsuit is here an important wording. And you might say, hey, this is great. But, there's a little tiny detail that such a lawsuit can accumulate a lot of upfront costs. And it can run, now depending on the geographic region you are on this planet, US, Europe, Asia, somewhere else, let's say about 2 to 4 years, like for example here in my region. But this depends on your laws. But this means if you are a startup, if you're a young enterprise, you are suddenly faced with a lawsuit for, let's say, 2 to 4 years, with a lot of upfront costs. But you have here the announcement by the global corporation that the product that you bought and you generated this, and this is the reason why you are sued here, that they will defend and they will pay for you, which is inherently great. However, according to European law, this is not as easy. But let's go on. In my region where I'm operating, and I would be a CEO of a startup company, this means that since this announcement was on the official web page of the global corporation, they are informing me in a very, very beautiful, subtle, legal art and manner that there might be upcoming IP infringement claims if I bought their product. Some beautiful, beautiful notation. So therefore, I as a CEO would be here. It's my duty that in the next financial statement of my company, I have to take action because I know my company is facing financial risk. My company is facing here some intellectual property infringement claims, a lawsuit, as has been officially announced on the webpage of the global corporation where I bought the product and I use this global AI product by this corporation. So I have to take today actions, financial actions to mitigate the risk. So in my next financial statement of the company, I have to set aside $100,000, $200,000, $400,000, $600,000 for lawsuits for everything because I have upfront cost. And I have to be aware that maybe in the next 2 to 4 years, I might be in a legal trouble. So you see, it's not that simple, but you know what? The announcement of the corporation goes on and you say, hey, okay, now it gets interesting. It says, when you scroll down, it's not really at the very top, but if you scroll down here, this announcement, you say that there are important conditions to this program of some unique copyright commitment for the customer by this global corporation. And one of, our Gedankenexperiment might be that I should not provide input to this product that I bought, that I as a customer do not have appropriate rights to use. Because then suddenly this announcement here of the copyright commitment that they will pay for my lawsuit, I do not qualify anymore because I violate here the condition that I have to show that my input, that I inputted to this AI machine, to this AI product, that I have the appropriate rights to use. Now, let's say an example. I am coding and I have here this product. Let's say this is a coding LLM from a global corporation. And I go to GitHub and somewhere I find some beautiful code. And I say, hey, if I only could adapt this code, but use the code in GitHub as a base so that the AI machine would modify, optimize the code for my particular use case. This is exactly why this product exists by this global corporation. So I will check in GitHub what is the license of the creator of the software code. And let's assume in our Gedankenexperiment, he says, yes, just write me an email, tell me that you're going to use it. I'm happy, you don't have to pay, but I want, this is my restriction, you have to ask me and I will provide you here. The answer says, yes, okay, granted, you can use it now. If, now theoretically, I would just copy the code from GitHub and not wait for the official go from the owner, from the creator of this particular code sequence, ask yourself, would you, as a customer, have the appropriate rights to the input to the AI product? Or would this already violate your qualification to the copyright commitment for customers? So since here the legal corporate head of this global corporation put in this conditional statement and he took the time to formulate it, I think we as user, or we as customers, or we as coder, as programmer, we should be aware what this means for our work. Because on the one side, I understand that this global corporation has to protect its product against any misuse. I get it. Fair. However, on the other side, now I, as a paying customer, I have to prove now that I'm applicable to this copyright commitment by the corporation, that all my input to their AI product, I had all the appropriate rights to input my example at the time of generating a result, like a code segment, directly from this AI product that I paid for. So you see, if now theoretically you are asked by this corporation, hey, can you show us that the input you give to our AI product, that you had the appropriate rights to use at the time of using this machine? How you want to demonstrate this? How you want to prove this? So, I have a simple question. Do now I, as a customer, have to record all my interaction with this corporate AI product that I paid for to prove my compliance with the rules by this global corporation, so I can apply for this copyright commitment protecting me as a paying customer? With a solo entrepreneur, I can think, okay, I'm just one person. Imagine you're a startup and you have 10 people working on AI code. If I'm the CEO of the startup, do I now have to tell all my 10 persons that they have to record all their interaction with this specific corporate AI product, let's say an LLM coding machine? because we have to prove that we qualify for this payment by the global corporation. I think this is a very interesting sentence. Maybe you should use some time and reflect on the importance of this sentence for your enterprise. And you say, wow, this was interesting. We go on. So here we have another part of the announcement. Now, interestingly, another very small sentence that the corporation, the global corporation, does not claim any intellectual property rights in the outputs of its products or services, especially not on the product you bought. And you might think, hey, this is great. They are generous. So I can use their product, and whatever, I paid for the product, so whatever comes out, it's my intellectual property rights. Well, not so fast. Because does this imply that in general the output of this corporate AI product does not qualify for any intellectual property rights? And in our Gedankenexperiment, in our theoretical case, does the global corporation not claim any IPRs on the output because it knows that it has no legal standing for this statement? And does this apply even I, as a paying customer? The same would apply to me? I guess I will have to contact my IPR lawyer, my legal specialist, and find out what are the legal implications, because honestly, given now my national law here in Austria, the European law, at the very moment in time here, I can't tell you what it means here for my work. Now, the even more interesting, if you are now a CEO of a company, or if you do client work, you might ask yourself, hey, what license can I give to my client who paid for my work, for my services? And doing my work, I use this corporate AI product. What are the consequences? Can I now tell my client, hey, my work now is not protected by intellectual property rights? Or is the simple use of this corporate AI product prohibiting me to give my client here some special intellectual property rights? I can only tell you that here, me right now in Austria, in the European Union, I have to ask an IPR lawyer because I can't tell you. Especially given that I don't know if this announcement by an American corporation is it valid worldwide in all nations? Is it limited in time? I can't tell you. So, on we go. So, again, with what legal protection can I now sell my services if I would be in the Gedankenexperiment a solo entrepreneur that I generate my work with this corporate AI tool? I can't tell you. And I think it is not that easy. Okay. You think, it's not that easy. Well, there's another dimension to it. Because if we talk about this announcement by the corporation, which I highly appreciate, it's great, some unique copyright commitment here for its customer, that the customers will become paying customer, because you see here, I say I pay for the Enterprise Edition, and you notice that I always say I pay for the Enterprise Edition, because if you do use here the free version, or if you do pay for something else, you know that there's nothing for you to protect you. So here we are. So on one side, you know me, I am a paying customer who purchased this AI product from the global corporation. Now I need this continuous copyright commitment, this protection that they take over the payment by the corporation if I continue to use their product. I need that this stays unlimited at time and validity is worldwide. Now, in the worst case, as they write in their announcement, that some customers are afraid to be sued. Now, let's assume this case that they address in their announcement. Now, I'm legally sued because I'm using this corporate AI product from this corporation. And I'm now, I would say, a little bit in trouble if I assume a time span of 2 to 4 years. So I want that this copyright commitment and their free action that they will pay here for my legal fees will work for minimum 4 years. However, in this Gedankenexperiment, I am also a shareholder of this corporation. I invested in this corporation. I hold shares. And now, given that I have to take precaution here in the financial statement of my company, I have to pay lawyers, I have upfront costs. I'm now in the next 2 to 4 years have here now a legal lawsuit here in my company. I need money for all of this. So if I have an investment, I say now, hey, maximize my financial return from my investment in this global corporation. So I'm going to tell the CEO of this global corporation that also I bought here the product from, hey, listen, buddy, what do you mean you give here I don't even know what this is. If you have, 1,000 lawsuits that you pay for, and let's say the settlement in each lawsuit is $10 million. Let's say you have 10,000 lawsuits in the next 5 years. And the settlement will increase to $15 million per lawsuit. How much profit do we lose with this free commitment, this announcement by the corporation? Are we legally committed to this? Or is there maybe a limited time span? And after some time we will say, hey, I'm sorry, but it's too expensive for us. Do we have any absolute watertight legal commitments? Because, hey, I need to maximize my financial return because I have all these costs because I use your product. So you see the situation becomes really interesting since I have pre-financed here any associated risk by using their corporate AI product. And this is something I hope this global corporation is absolutely aware what it is doing. Now I understand that one idea might be, hey, we are one of the biggest global corporations on this planet. Who will dare to sue us for copyright infringement? And I understand that given the unique and maybe exponential cost that you might face in this endeavor, that you trust your sheer size and the sheer capability that you as a global corporation, you can hire 100 additional lawyers, 500 additional lawyers. But maybe this is not the optimal and best way forward for the medium to long-term future. And there you have it. A very short personal reflection on a theoretical Gedankenexperiment. If I buy a specific AI product by a global corporation and the financial risks I might encounter even if this global corporation has published or announced on its website some new and unique copyright commitments for its customers. I hope this video was informative. I hope you learned a little bit. If you disagree with me, welcome. Leave your standpoint in the comments. And it would be great to see you in my next video.